Alright. We're continuing from where we left off. We were in the middle of a trial with Hifumi and Taka dead. That's, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's this one. Let's go, go, go! I don't got much time to play today, but I want to... Whoa. Looking back, I could say that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
Where is my... Nope, that's not what I want. Yes. That looks better. Ish. Alright. They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around frightened and confused. We're all gonna die here. We're all gonna die just like those guys died.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
Really? You don't?
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room. Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the four of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead. Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
Are you serious right now, Hero?
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
Bakua said that Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. But what is he alluding to? Oh, come on, do we really have to...
All I said was...
Mm-hmm.
They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it, what was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Oops, hold on. Sorry, guys. Okay. Try this one more time.
Shoot! All I said was... They must really be enjoying the sight of us. They must be... We are going to die. Just and that is...
And that's all it takes. What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
I guess I have to do it the reverse way?
All I said was... They must really enjoying the sight of us. They must be... We are all going to die. We are going to die. Just like those guys.
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
That's right. There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like those guys died. When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall. So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
Right.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys? Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
You all have have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Imaginations.
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took? How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
It has to be some kind of setup, right? So let's put the suit on. And then she used the camera's timer to set up the picture.
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit.
That's true.
Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer. In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away. If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
No, there is no other explanation.
Other explanations? If it wasn't a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away, the only other option is Hifumi and the suspect, they're dancing, obviously. Hifumi and the suspect had been drinking. Hifumi is dragging the suspect away.
I got it! It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Such a thing is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Why?
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
Okay, please educate me. Celeste thinks she can prove that there is no way Hifumi was dragging the suspect away. Is that really possible? Make your argument.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out. Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight. You tried to make me look like the bad guy.
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Then the fortune-telling idiot is the culprit after all!
No way!
If I remember right, Hina said, she said that she couldn't bend at the waist.
You dressed me up in that suit after... Then you just draped me
Wait,
across
how do I... There we go.
You tried to make me look like a bad guy.
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight.
No, it's wrong. No. Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that, because that Robo-Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
It did indeed. You totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
That's right! They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Checkmate?
Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate?
Celeste?
Clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem.
Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
Hey, Hifumi, who did it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you? Who killed me? That's right, I remember their name. Yasuhiro.
When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro.
In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure!
Right, but my name isn't really Yasuhiro. It's actually Taro.
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
He did say Yasuhiro, but are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
Pretty sure he used everyone's last name.
I got it! That's right, our last names. He called us all by our last names.
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example.
Me too.
So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name, indecent?
Don't talk.
Random chance. Now isn't that a convenient explanation? No, there's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal. But he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Well, no. Hold on. There's one person it could apply to, and that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
What did you just say? To think you'd take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit! Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather! Yasuhiro is a loser's name! Do I look like a loser to you? Well, do I?
You're losing it, girl.
What? I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up! My real name is Celestia Ludenberg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
Celeste still won't give up, so then I have to do something to make her accept it. Make your argument.
Hifumi was trying to tell us he wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
If there's one person here who might have that last name,
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
how many times do I have to tell you? My name is...
Celestia Ludenberg, god damn it!
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since you have no way to contradict me,
That's the only truth there is! Moron!
Alright, I got it. If I remember, there's something here that shows it's Rona's real name. Yep. I'm sure Kyoko mentioned something like that at some point. It may not be related to the case, but it might come in handy anyways.
Hifumi was trying to tell us something.
No, I didn't mean to do that.
If
E
there's
handbook.
one person here who might have that last name,
It would have to be you, Celeste.
how many times I? Celestia Ludenberg, God!
How long do you plan to go on pretend?
I'm not pretending. And since you have no way
No.
to contradict me,
Why do you?
that's the only truth there is! Moron!
Hifumi was trying to tell us something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name.
Yes, if there's one person who...
It would have to be you, Celeste.
How many times I? Celestia Ludenberg, God damn!
How long do you plan to go on pretend?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since you have no way to contradict me,
No, that's wrong.
Gotcha.
That's it. The handbook.
what?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Monokuma told us all about it before.
On multiple occasions. The handbook is absolutely vital to a healthy school life, so don't lose it. When you start it up, it will display your name. Always make sure you have it, the right one. Now, this is not your everyday notebook. It has so many more uses than that.
So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything. That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please, just tell us.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
Fine then. Let me settle it. Let me go over the case again, from the beginning, and shed light on all your crimes. And that'll bring everything to an end.
Okay. Alright. Celeste meets up with Hifumi. Hifumi makes a very weird face. In this case, how did the killer recruit their accomplice? Was it seduction? I don't think it was seduction. None of these make sense to me, so I'm just gonna keep going. What time did the killer call their victim to the rec room? Well, he wanted to meet him at... What time did he want to meet him at? What time did the killer call their victim to the rec room? The rec room was around... I think it was around 1 a.m., right? Who was it that the killer summoned first? They knocked him out, then stuffed him into Robo-Justice suit to falsify their evidence, and they used a certain item to do so. The camera. What time did Taka supposed to head to the equipment room? And it said a little after 6. The Justice Hammer that was used to kill Taka, what number was it? Oh, jeez. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. Can I... I think it was 4. In the library, Hifumi used something to fake the existence of a shadowy criminal? The existence of a shadowy criminal. Which Justice Hammer was in the nurse's office? I'm pretty sure that was. I'm pretty sure that was. I'm pretty sure that was 2 in the nurse's office. Like, I really lost the order. I didn't pay attention that much. 2 for that one. Fumi used something to move Taka's body, which was the. I guess that's it. The weapon the killer used to murder Hifumi, that was just the plain one. That one I do remember. I'm starting to think this was 3, actually. In the library, Hifumi used something to fake the existence of a shadowy criminal. I think 2 was in the library. No clue. How did he recruit it? A backpack? I guess it was just Hifumi. No, Hifumi.
Here's exactly what happened. Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was... Hifumi. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes. First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning. That someone they met with was Hiro. The murderous duo intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect. So when they met up with him, they drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo-Justice suit. Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo-Justice was attacking him, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hiro. When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker. And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room. And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder.
Okay.
The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room. The reason Hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crimes. So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims, to solidify Robo-Justice as the suspect. The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1, and the Robo-Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2, and an injured Hifumi, to sell us that story. With these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that. But while we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. He took a blood packet from the refrigerator and Justice Hammer 3 and turned the room into a crime scene in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered. He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned, that's what we found. Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi. We left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office. And once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he snuck into the equipment room. He wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository. That explains how each of the bodies disappeared. But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act. Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all is...
Celeste.
Celeste. Sorry, you lose.
You lose. What a loser. Ultimate gambler. My butt.
Lost?
Yes, you did.
I lost? When was the last time I was forced to utter such words? They hang heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, no. Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Taiko?
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
Interesting.
We did it. Yay, A. Only got one B.
Okay, Monokuma. I'm ready to begin. Or, no. I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote, okay? Okay. If you would, please locate your lever and cast your vote. And when the votes are tallied, who will become the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
It's basically a formality at this point, but once again, you're totally correct. The black in this time, the true killer who devised the whole stinking scheme was Celestia Lundenberg, or more precisely, Takeo Yasuhiro.
Honestly.
I lost. Well, that sucks. I guess trying to work with someone else was a mistake after all. Hifumi ineptitude was beyond all my calculations.
I knew it.
So you really did approach Hifumi with this plan. But how did you get him to agree? I can't imagine he would have happily agreed to commit murder. I'm sure she relied on her specialty, lying. My specialty? don't make me laugh. I didn't have to lie to get him to agree.
So then,
Then did you use you know? I know you'd figure it out, Kyoko. You're absolutely right. To get Hifumi to act my accomplice, I used her. For everyone who's still left, I'll avoid mentioning it by name, but it was the one thing Hifumi and Taka were both super into. Does she mean... Is she talking about alter ego?
Say what?
What? What are you talking about?
just a second.
Don't interrupt. We're in the middle of a very important conversation here. I'm totally out of the loop, as usual. That's sad.
In other words,
Then you're the one that stole it?
Indeed.
That's right.
I see.
And you used it to drag Hifumi into the plan you'd come up with. Right again. Last night, after we had our meeting about how it had disappeared, I paid Hifumi a little visit. What are you doing here?
Actually,
I was hoping I could talk to you, alone. It is about what it was stolen. I know who did it.
what? Are you okay
It
with
was
this?
Taka. He stole it.
So
And I have
then-
proof. Would you like to see it? As it turned out, I'd find a use for the digital camera. I'd taken you-know-what to Taka's room earlier and took a picture of it there. I deleted the picture as soon as I shown it to Hifumi, of course.
Damnation!
Grr, so it was him. But how did he do it? She was supposed to yell if either of us got close to her. You are correct, which is why Taka forced me to steal it.
Say what?
As for me,
Please forgive me. He threatened me.
Oh.
He did?
as for me,
He came to my room last night unannounced, and then it's hard for me to even say. He abused me,
What?
and he took pictures. He said if I did not do as he asked, he would show them to everyone. So I chose not to.
Damnation!
That's a crime. That's an absolute crime. I knew he'd gone a little crazy, but
Say
I never imagined he would go that far. It was amazing how completely he bought it. I can't express how enjoyable that was. I'm about to say something I never said before in my life. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to fucking kill him.
most
Wait,
unfortunate.
please. If you go now, you will be playing right into his hands.
Actually,
Taka is planning to use her to escape, and he has made you his target.
What?
Escape? You don't mean Taka is going to try and kill you?
What?
What?
indeed.
And also, he can keep her to himself. That bastard. Bastard.
Honestly,
Can we allow him continued with these barbaric acts? Absolutely not. How could I? She
I swear!
I have to save her.
actually,
Then, would you like to join with me? It's just so happens I have came up with a plan. I have devised a way to reclaim what he has stolen and escape this dreadful school. He. And with that, it is complete. Huh? What are you talking about? Oh, nothing. Hifumi agreed without a second thought. The effect that item had on him was remarkable. The power of love, even a love as twisted as that, can still drive people mad, it would seem. You disgust me.
I see.
I have another question for you. Was that strange costume Hifumi's creation?
indeed.
Yeah, it was a real pain in the butt, too. All I asked him to do was make something to hide the face and general body size. I had no idea he'd make something like that. But it's my fault for picking him in the first place.
But
So why do you decide to make me the suspect? Because you're stupid. That's it?
Let's see.
And in that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad your stupidity surpassed my every expectation. Life must have